everyone. My name is Dorian, and I'm going to be starting a new YouTube channel here. It's going to be about my new venture that I have taken on. This past Tuesday, I completed my training at airlines to become a flight attendant, and received my wings. So I kind of wanted to make a channel that's going to be able to share this adventure. So to tell you a little bit about me, I actually was retired. I worked in healthcare for a number of years, over 36 years, and retired just before COVID. So I was kind of sitting around doing nothing, just enjoying retirement, doing little things, driving Uber, but find myself kind of bored, needing something else to do. And my daughter's a flight attendant, and she recommended that I give it a shot. I got to tell you, at first, it was not my inclination to do it. I thought about it, and I was okay with what I was doing, being retired, and but I still kind of thought that I needed another challenge in my life somewhere. I had no idea that it would be this. By the way, I'm driving right now, and I'm headed to North Carolina, Charlotte, because that's my base. That's where I'm going to be stationed at. And I'm from Cleveland, so I'm driving down there now because I'll be starting my job as a flight attendant. I think it's Friday or Saturday. I have my orientation at the base, and then I believe I'm off Sunday, and then Monday I'll be on reserves. So that's what I'm doing right now, just so you can kind of see. Well, I'm trying to reverse this, but it won't reverse. But anyway, I'm on the road right now, headed down to North Carolina, to Charlotte, North Carolina. But anyway, to get back to what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be providing some videos for you all in my adventure as a flight attendant. Now, let me tell you all this. I'm older, and it surprises a lot of people that I'm getting into this. I have gotten into this, and actually, I'm surprised I'm doing this myself. I went through training, and I got to tell you, it was not easy. It was the most challenging thing that I've ever done in my life, and I'll go into that in more detail as I make more videos and kind of give you an idea of what it's going to be like being a flight attendant. And no, I have never done this before in my life. Like I said, my daughter's a flight attendant. She kind of told me about it and said, Dad, you ought to go ahead and give it a shot. And wasn't doing too much of anything else, and said, why not? In actuality, I filled out the application. I got a virtual interview. It was a group interview, and it was really interesting because it was just one question, and you talked about yourself a little bit, and you answered the questions they gave you. And about a week or two later, I received an email, and the email was an invitation to Dallas, Texas for a face-to-face interview. Now, I didn't expect anything out of this interview. I felt like, I'm too old to be doing this, or for them to even hire me. I thought I would be too old. They're not looking for anybody as old as I am. But being from Cleveland, it was this past winter, and it was cold. We got several inches of snow, feet of snow actually, and I thought, well, it's a free ticket because they provided the airfare. Why not go? And I went there a day before the interview, and it was like 72 degrees down in Dallas Fort Worth. So I figured like, okay, well, it'll be a day to get away from the cold. I went in for the interview and got selected. They offered me a CJO. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's a conditional job offer, providing you make it through training. And training is interesting in itself, and I'm going to get into that a little bit later as well, because there's a lot of stipulations as far as making it through training. But it was difficult for me because when you go into training, before you can go into training, you have to have your passport, and they do a background check on you and everything, and that part was okay. My issue was my passport. So I had gotten a date to come to training, and it was actually in April that they had invited me. So I had applied for my passport, and I expedited it. It was about $160 to expedite it. And they had already said in the email that it might be delayed because of COVID and things like that. But I know I needed this passport as soon as possible in order to be able to go to training. Now I'm starting to get excited about it now because they accepted me, and like I said, I was surprised that they did give me an offer. And I'm thinking, okay, well, get yourself prepared for this. So I'm waiting for the passport to come back, and I get this letter from the passport agency, and the letter stated that I was not qualified due to some issues, and those issues were child support. And I guess you're wondering, what is a guy like me having issues with, at my age, having issues with child support? But unfortunately, that's what it was, and it was something from the past. My daughters are grown. My youngest is 20, and she is emancipated, so it should not be an issue, but it was some things from the past that I had to get taken care of. I called the child support office, and they told me that because of the judgment, and it was in arrears, I had been paying on it, but it was in arrears, that according to the rules for the state of Ohio, you cannot get a passport, which I think is totally wrong. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in another episode as well. But needless to say, that was my dilemma, trying to get this passport. I did eventually get my passport, obviously, because as you see, I did receive my wings. So obviously I went to training, and I successfully made it through training. But this is an introduction to me and what it's going to be like to go through this new life of mine as a flight attendant. I hope you all will join me. I will try to get videos on weekly to kind of let you know what's going on. I hope it's going to be fun and not boring to you, and we'll go from there. I'll do some live shots periodically once I get the membership up. But thank you all for those of you who are watching this, and I hope you join me again. See you soon.